Hello my crafty friends, it's Beverly here over at Crafting Chaos, and I'm here with part 2 of the Father's Day card video that I started with my golf cart. And in this section I'm going to make a greeting. So let's get to it. The first thing you need to do is, again, we're going to Google Chrome and we need a couple of things. We need to go to our Canvas workspace software, and also we're going to go to collect a font from DaFont. So you need to type in DaFont, okay, and that's, I find, a trustworthy place to download fonts where I've not got myself into any trouble with any viruses and things. And I'm going to download a font called Tale of Hawks. So in DaFont, in the search engine part of DaFont here, you would type in, Tale of Hawks. It's been a long day and my year 11 doing the GCSEs in chemistry are driving me insane. So I do apologise if I do sound a little bit hoarse because I've been talk all day. Okay, so search, and there is the nice scrolly font. What my intention is to do on the front of my card is to stamp happy with a stamp, then have father cut out of this fancy script or brush type font, and then type day, so happy, and then fathers will be big, and then day would be separate from that. Okay, so now I've located it. If you want to preview what it's going to look like as your text, you can type what you want. So I'm going to type in father, and I'm going to click enter, and that will show me what it will look like. And I think that comes out really nice. Father, all beautifully brush drawn, ready to go on the front of a card. What you would now do is click over here. Look what the copyright information is, and it's telling us that it's free for personal use. If you want to make a donation to the author, you can, but if you're using it for non-profit, i.e. for your father or father-in-law, etc., or a friend's father, as long as you're not getting any monetary gain from it, it's free for personal use. Okay, I'm going to download the font to my machine, so you click download. That will go into your downloads folder if you're on a Mac. If you're in Windows, it may pop up with a window asking you to save it somewhere. Then you would save it wherever you would be able to find it, and then you would go on to the next step like me. So first of all, then you would locate, mine opens automatically. On Windows PCs, you might have to find it manually, so go to the area on your computer where you've saved it to, and that's why it's always a good idea. My default place to save things to, if I'm not sure where it's going, is the desktop. Then I know I'll be able to find it. Okay, so I'm going to then know mine is in my downloads folder. It already opens automatically. I'm going to double click, and then you want to select the one that's the true type font, because we've got PN image, plain text, just telling you about the font, license request, etc. And all you need to do on a Mac is double click that. It'll give you a view of what it looks like, and you click install font. And it's a very, very similar process for PC users. I have a feeling it might be right click and you have to install the font from that. Okay, but if you're unsure, I'm sure if you Google how to install a font on Windows, there'll be lots of articles out there explaining how to do that. Okay, so now I'm not going to install it again because I have this font already installed on my MacBook. So I'm just going to close the viewing image, and I'm going to close the download section of my computer, and I'm going to open Brother Scan and Cut Type Converter. Now, I've done a video on this before. It's a free program that Brother have provided for us. You just go to the Brother Solution Centre and download it. I'm going to type the word father and click preview. Okay, so you can see that's what my file is going to be looking like initially. So I'm going to click close. The only thing I need to be aware of is where these lines are overlapping is where I'd like them to weld, and I might just have a little bit of a problem with the H, but I'll explain that in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to click save, and then I'm going to save it to my desktop so I know where it is. Give it a name, and I'm going to call it Father's Day, because that's what I want it for, and then click save. Okay, I've finished with the type converter now, so I can close that down, go back to Chrome, open Canvas Workspace on a new document. I'll increase the size so you can see it. This time we do want to import an SVG file, or rather an FCM. It imports either, and even DXF. Click on that, choose the file is the next thing you select, locate the Father's Day greeting you've just made, and click open. Okay, so then I'm going to say OK, and that will bring in the file for me. So I'm just going to select everything so that I can drag it to the middle of my mat, so I've got a little bit more space to do what I need to do. And then I'm going to increase the size so you can see what I'm doing. Now, as I've shown you before, if I try to fill this with colour now, and remember I am going to want to weld, and it will weld shut the holes in the letters. So where you've got a little hole for your E and another one under the A, we need to sort that out first of all. So I'm going to fill the area so you can see what I mean. So I'm going to fill it with, well, we'll go blue. So you can see now that it's actually filled in the A, the E, and this little part of the H. So what you need to do is click on each letter. So first of all, the A, go edit, and then select that part and remove it. I'll show you that bit again. So select the E, edit, process overlap, and you want the second one along, which is divide. And then you hover over so you can get just a little bit, oh, wrong part. If you're struggling to get it because it is small, just zoom in ever so close so you can see what you're actually getting. So I've zoomed in a little bit more, clicked on my selection tool, so I can definitely, now I know I've got that part of the E, and then delete. The other part we need to get rid of is that bit on the H. So again, select the H, and again, edit, process overlap, and then divide. And then click on that part and remove it like so. Now, as you can see, that T is going under the L. Now, that might be okay, but we'll try for now, just selecting up the letters except for the F. I don't want the F because that's not joined, so it's not going to weld. Just the A, T, H, E, R. And we're going to weld those initially. So we're going to go edit and weld. Now, as you can see, it's actually done quite a good job of welding that. So now I'm going to move that bit just over so it's just slightly, and I'm going to just tilt that F slightly backwards just to give it a little bit more of a space between them, even though they're overlapped. And click on them both, draw a box around both, and then go edit and process overlap, weld. So that's just about, I'm going to undo that and do it just ever so slightly a little bit more. So I'm going to shunt it across so it's overlapping a little bit more. If you're happy to have it separate, you can leave it and stick it onto your card in separate bits. And I actually think I'm going to do that because I think I prefer it with that distance between them. Okay, but what we can do is if we do edit now and group them, we've now got them independently, grouped together so we can move them independently as one word. Now I'm going to shrink that down because it looks massive and we want to have an idea of how big that actually is. Okay, so at the moment we're here. If we go on view properties, that's going to tell us that we've got it all ready, and we're going to set that to a cutting line. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is click on it and I'm going to drag it out to make it a little bit bigger. And what I'm going to do at this stage is I'm going to go on edit, create an offset, and I want it around the outer edge only, but I want it to be a little bit chunky this time, and I'm going to go try 0.16 initially, and we'll see what that looks like. And I've got everything on. I'm going to go outward because I want an outward offset, and around, and say OK. So that should now be producing a file that is like the matting layer for that. But if you notice, because we had the F and the ATHER separate, we've got this separate. So what I'm going to do is just click on those two, and I did that by clicking on the first one, holding my shift key down, which is the up arrow that gives you a capital letter, and then clicking on the F. Okay, then if I go edit and weld, it will weld those two together, and now we've got a perfect matting layer. So at the minute that file's on top, and we can send it to the bottom by going edit, and we want it right at the very bottom of the stack. So I'm going to click here, send to back, and I'm going to make that one a different colour so it stands out from our other one on top. And if you bring that on top now, you can see that is giving us, it doesn't matter now that the F isn't attached to the ATHER, because we've got that matting layer that's going to go across the golf cart front. Okay, so remember, that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to leave that there for now. I'm going to close this down. I'm going to go to my projects where I've saved my golf cart, and I'm just going to bring it on. Now I know the colours are horrific at the minute, but I'm not too worried about that at this stage, because that's not what I'm bothered about now. That arrow, incidentally, if you need a bit more room to work on, if you use this arrow, it moves it in, and if you move it back out, so you can have it out of your way, so you've got a bit more space to move. So what I'm going to do is move these off to the side, and then I'm going to click off. I can delete that one. Don't worry that you're deleting it, because it's still in your projects. You've only deleted it from this particular mat. So, and then I'm going to bring in, oops, sorry, I just wanted to group those two together first. So I'm going to draw an imaginary box around both of them, and then go edit and group. The reason I've brought that on is because I want an idea. I'm just going to group these initially, just so I can get an idea. This is not how I'm going to save the file, but I want to have an idea what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to group it for now, and I'm going to use the rotate arrow. So if that fits on my card, it's going to span. It's maybe just a little on the big side, on the large side. So I'm just going to shrink it ever so slightly so that I can fit it on my card like that farther. And you can adjust it when you're sticking it down for real. And then I would probably go with something like, I could stick it up above the steering wheel so I don't lose that definition. And then I could maybe get a stamp, and I could type happy and father, or I should have done fathers, so I'd have to go back and put the S, and then so you'd make the file with the S in the first place. So I've made a bit of a boo-boo there, but I'm not going to repeat the whole thing because you get the gist. And then so we're going to have happy, and that will then say fathers, silly me, and then I could print my day down here. Okay, what I might also like is a few bits of trimming for the card. So what I would do is, again, go to Google, type in maybe golf ball, a golf club, not golf club silhouette. If you can find a silhouette image, it's always much easier to trace it. And once you've got an image, so we'll go on the images, and it gives us far many more to choose from. I could select that one, and I think I will, because it looks a nice clean one, and you can see it's a golf club. It's got a handle, it's got everything I want. I can save the image as on my desktop as golf club. I'm not going to do the ball because you get the idea. Click save, and then you'd go back to your canvas workspace, go to trace again, not the it's SVG, we need the trace. We need to choose the file, we select the golf club. We've done all this before with the golf cart, so we should be okay with this. Then we're going to say okay, we're going to open it. There it is. I want it to trace just around the perimeter, so we should be fine on outline. Preview, maybe knock down the colours again, preview again, gives us a nicer trace round. Say OK. I don't want the image, and it'll put me a golf club. It's a bit small for my massive golf cart, but remember, this is the scan and cut canvas software. We can increase it to suit our needs. So there's our golf club. We could cut that out, we could paper piece it, and we've got some embellishment for our golf cart. Okay, so I'll just flood fill that so you can see it in colour. I'll make it brown. So there's my golf club, and I could cut a couple of those out and have them sticking out the back of the caddy at the back here. So now I'd have my golf club. I could put a golf ball here with, and maybe get it to write on it words, you know, world's best father or something similar, and that would make a really interesting card for Father's Day. So now I'm just going to call, oh, before I do that, I need to ungroup these again, edit and ungroup, because I want my cutting files to be independent from my matting layer. Okay, and remember, you can stick that on wherever you want. So now I'm just going to call this my golf cart Father's Day card. Okay, and then I'm going to save it. Oh, just be careful when you come to download this that you move it onto the mat, otherwise it won't. It'll say it can't do it because it's not fitting. Say OK, and then you would download either straight to your USB stick if you've got that facility, straight to Wi-Fi if you can send it straight over wirelessly to your scan and cut, or if you're like me and have to use an adapter which knocks off my internet, I have to save it to my computer first, then to the USB, then to the scan and cut. But it's so good at doing what it does, I really don't mind. Okay, so that's it for that. Now remember, I've done a golf theme. You could do whatever theme suits you. Just find the images, and now you know you've got the skill. You know how to trace, you know how to make a shaped card. So I'm going to sign off for now. Good luck with making your Father's Day cards. I hope I've given you some inspiration. If this video has helped you, please like, share and subscribe, and remember to click the bell icon so you're alerted when I upload new videos. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.